We pulled out some profit yesterday. Let's carry that momentum on into money-making weekend. Hey there, everybody. Welcome on into this episode of Winning Bets. It's Jason Mattis. We've got the Friday edition here of Winning Bets. You guys know what that means. That means we got money-making weekend just around the corner, and it all starts this afternoon because I'm going to give you guys a soccer bet this afternoon. So money-making weekend will be starting a little bit early, and we coming off making some money yesterday. Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and recap it, and then we'll go ahead and give you guys some NASCAR, soccer, and football bets on today's show. As you guys can see right there, yesterday we went 3-2 and plus 0.48 units. And now still down on the week, but sitting a little bit better going on in the weekend. Down 0.4 units overall in the weekend. Boy, all of our bets were on that Thursday night football game, and what a game. I hope you guys stayed up and watched it until the end. We cashed Shepard over 4.5 catches. Got a nice first half cash there. Love it when the research pays off nice and early. You can get a good first half cash. We also got Logan Thomas over 4.5 catches. That was a complete opposite from Shepard. Shepard, again, was in the first half. Logan Thomas took it until the last drive there by Washington. Thought maybe he wasn't going to get another opportunity late in that game, around that 2-minute mark when it looked like maybe Washington was going to run the ball out. But boy, we got just enough there from Logan Thomas, so that was a good cash right there. And then the last one of the day was Washington winning that game. Winning that game right there. You thought it was over, obviously, when he threw that interception. I really don't even understand that play call to begin with. You're obviously trying to run the ball to burn, New York Giants' timeouts. You got Gibson. You just had an excellent run. He had gotten your first down, and then he had gotten you another good carry there on first down. So I don't understand that play call whatsoever. Even if it's a successful pass, that doesn't mean it's still the right play call. You always got to burn your opponent's timeouts. You can't, allow them to maybe get the ball and have timeouts. So, yeah, thought we were dead in the water right there at that interception. But thankfully, the Giants, couldn't muster a drive, couldn't run off any clock themselves, and obviously had to settle for a field goal. And then Heineke, boy, he looked good. I feel good about my future bet. My NFC East champion Washington future bet. I feel good after watching that game. He looked good. The defense didn't play all that great. Neither defense obviously played all that great because one of our losses were under 41.5. Yeah, the defense as a whole, for both sides, weren't playing all that great. So that one was over. You could tell that one was going to be over by halftime. And then Gibson over 15.5 rushes. For whatever reason, it's 7 at halftime. Was looking relatively good and wasn't involved a whole much in that second half game plan. They went more to a passing attack right there. Can't really fault them. I mean, the passing attack was working. Just obviously, wasn't a game script that we would have preferred, but you can't always knock a team, right? I can sit here and knock them if they don't win the game, but fact is, when you win the game, it's really hard to, knock anything that they did, even though it does go against you. So again, profitable on the day, 3-2 and plus 0.48 units. All right, let's go ahead now and get on into these bets. I'm excited for these bets. So let's go ahead and start with NASCAR. No justification because I know a lot of you guys have already watched my weekly NASCAR show. Let me just hit you with these. Got 2 more head-to-heads just like last week. I'm going to go ahead and take Bell over Byron at minus 115 up over at DraftKings. And then I'm also going to take Kurt Busch over Blaney at minus 115 over at DraftKings. So again, Bell over Byron minus 115 and Kurt Busch over Blaney at minus 115. Next, let's roll on into the soccer bets, and they're all around the Premier League show. And Matt and I are doing our weekly Between the Post show at 10 a.m. Central Time, which is pretty much going to be immediately after this daily show. I'm pretty much going to hop on there and do that with him. So I'm not going to give you guys any justification here on the daily show. Go watch that episode Between the Post. I'm excited to justify a few of these bets for you. I'm really excited for them. Got some different kind of angles there for some of these games. So do check out this week's episode of Between the Post. Again, that'll go live at 10 a.m. Central Time. Let's go ahead and start off. It all starts off with this Newcastle versus Leeds game. Again, it's both teams are scoring over 2.5. It's been a profitable bet for us in Leeds game. With Newcastle playing at home, I think they'll obviously find the back of the net themselves. So, yeah, go ahead and give me both teams to score and over 2.5 at minus 119 over at FanDuel. Don't forget, guys, these actually bets are down below me. I know I usually put them up over my shoulder, but there's a lot here. So if you're looking, obviously, make sure you're looking down below me. Let's go ahead and do Burnley and Arsenal under 2.5 at minus 124 over at BetRivers. Let's go into Norwich and Watford. Corners, three-way. So what we mean by three-way is either team can win or there could be a push. There could be a draw, right? Both teams could have the same number of corners. But I'm going to say Watford. Watford has the most corners at plus 195 over at DraftKings. Can't wait to justify that bet on between the posts. Also, go ahead and take Aston Villa versus Everton. Go ahead and take Everton on that draw no bet at plus 116 over at FanDuel. And also do another bet from that game of over 4.5 cards at plus 155 over at Bet Rivers. Another game or another bet that I just can't wait to justify over on between the posts a little bit later on. Let's go ahead and take Brighton versus Leicester. Both teams will score at minus 110 over at DraftKings. Let's go ahead and take under 2.5 in that Tottenham versus Chelsea game. Under 2.5 in Tottenham versus Chelsea at minus 128 over at Bet Rivers. And then West Ham versus Manchester United. Just go ahead and grab that Manchester money line at minus 120 over at Bet Rivers. So those will be the Premier League bets this weekend. Let's now move it over on into the football discussion. Money-making weekend is going to kick butt on into Sunday. We're going to have a better Sunday than what we did last week. Wasn't like we had the worst of all Sundays. We only lost a little bit of Monday, but this one we're going to absolutely crush. To remind you guys, again, DraftKings is doing 20% profit boost on every single game on Sunday afternoon. So make sure you guys use that to your disposal. And that may be why maybe you may hear some of these odds and you may say, well, my book doesn't have that. Just go ahead and use your 20% profit boost over there on DraftKings and get the same number that I got. The first one we're going to look at here is Bengals versus Bears. I'm doing Evan McPherson over 1.5 field goals at plus 104 over at DraftKings. This is going to be the field goal kicker there for the Bengals. He made 2 last week. He also made a 53-yarder last week, but he also made the game winner last week. So obviously showed us that he's got a big leg and making both of his field goals, but also know that he's battle tested, right? He can come through in the clutch and making a game-winning field goal there in overtime. So like that right there. He also made all 3 of his extra points last week. And, you know, extra points are no longer gimmies in the NFL. I mean, you guys know that. We saw missed extra points, you know, last Sunday. Even saw him on Thursday Night Football there between the Cowboys and Bucks. So the fact that he makes all 3 of his extra points, yeah, that's noteworthy to me. And then the other thing I like is the same strategy that we used last week in Greg Zuerlein, and this will be a strategy that you guys will see going forward, is take the road team's field goal kicker because it's generally tough. You know, the home team normally has a good defense in the red zone. They can normally clamp down. The crowd can normally help them. It usually obviously gets a lot louder in the stadium, and the offenses will stall in the red zone. Subsequently, they have to kick field goals. So like that. And then also add in, they're also going up against a good defense. So they have that on our side right there. The Bears are a good defense. Don't let last week, you know, against the Rams fool you. Everybody's going to get destroyed by the Rams this season. They're going to be a Super Bowl contender for a reason. So the Bears do have a good defense. They're at home. Like everything about that, and it kind of fits into that strategy that we used last season. And again, we already used it with Greg Zuerlein and got 1 cash right there. So we'll go ahead and use it there with Evan McPherson. The next one we'll do here is we're going to look at this Raiders versus Steelers game. Just go Darren Waller over 6.5 catches at even money over DraftKings. I don't think we need to talk about this all that much. We got that nice cash last week. We know how he's a focal point in this offense. You can say each and every single week, well, you know, Steelers are going to try and stop Darren Waller. Really? Like the Ravens then try and stop Darren Waller? Everybody tries to stop this guy. He's an absolute target machine. So Waller over 6.5 catches at even money. Yeah, it's all day long for me. Let's go ahead and look at this Bills versus Steelers game. We got Emmanuel Sanders over 48.5 receiving yards at even money over at DraftKings. Look, he had 52 in the opener against the Steelers. Or no, the Bills are not playing the Steelers. I wrote down Bills versus Steelers. The Bills are playing the Dolphins. Bills are playing the Dolphins. He had 52 in the opener against the Steelers, and obviously I watched that entire game. Allen missed him on 2 deep passes. And he still got the cash, and Allen missed him on 2 deep balls. He's the deep threat on this team. Diggs works the kind of short and intermediate areas. Not to say that Diggs obviously can't go deep in his own right, but traditionally speaking, more times than not, Diggs is gonna work that underneath intermediate area, and Sanders is gonna be the deep guy on this team. You already saw it in week 1, and you even just saw what Diggs did last season. Right? John Brown was more the deep guy last season. Well, who's John Brown in this offense? Now it's Emmanuel Sanders. Now that Brown is gone, so yeah, got a cash last week. Could have cashed even way easier if he just hits on one of those 2 deep passes. But I like him going over 48.5 receiving yards at even money over at DraftKings. Let's go ahead and look at this Falcons versus Buccaneers game. Got 2 bets for this game. The first one's Leonard Fournette over 34.5 rushing yards at plus 104 over at DraftKings. The Falcons gave up 173 yards in their opener. That was the second most rushing yards allowed last week. They gave up a ton. It wasn't all just Jalen Hurts. Both of the Eagles running backs went over 34.5. So yeah, while Jalen Hurts certainly contributed to that 173 yards. Like I said, both running backs got over 34.5. Fournette, he looks like he's going to be the lead back here between him and Jones. He got more than twice as many carries against the Cowboys than what Jones got, so we like that. And then I just expect the Buccaneers obviously be leading in this game. I mean, the Buccaneers, I think, will handle the Falcons relatively easy. There's a minus 12.5 spread on this game at the sportsbook, so they also think it'll obviously be an easy game. And what do we know about easy games? Well, that leads to a game where eventually you're going to turn it over to the running backs and let them do their thing. So with how the Falcons struggled, defending the run last week, Eagles running backs, both of them cashing, this is the lead back here for the Buccaneers. I like Leonard Fournette to get over 34.5 rush yards at plus 104. Then the other bet for this game is I'm going Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown over 63.5 receiving yards at minus 115 over at DraftKings. I mean, just you guys watched that game against the Cowboys. I mean, the way the announcers talk about Brady and Antonio Brown, I mean, I think these guys are like sleeping together, that there's so much good chemistry. That's how much chemistry is between Brady and Brown. They love each other. Brady loves to look his way. You don't need a whole lot of catches. I love that. This is the deep guy on this team. You don't need a whole lot of catches from Antonio Brown to get up over 63 yards. I think this will easily go up over 63 yards. Again, going up against a poor Falcons defense. They're going to be getting the ball a lot. I think the Falcons are going to be punting the ball a lot. A lot of possessions here for the Buccaneers. So, yeah, I love Antonio Brown to get up over 63.5 receiving yards. And we'll do that one at minus 115 over at DraftKings. All right, let's go ahead and hit you guys with this NFL recap here. We're going to do Montgomery. Gave you guys this one, I don't know, one day this week. Montgomery over 14.5 rushes at minus 105. We'll do McPherson over 1.5 made field goals at plus 104. We'll do Waller over 6.5 catches at even money. We'll do Emmanuel Sanders over 48.5 receiving yards at even money. We'll do Leonard Fournette over 34.5 rush yards at plus 104. We'll do Antonio Brown over 63.5 receiving yards at minus 115. And let me go ahead and sneak in another one here for you guys. I already got one from Monday night. Let's do Aaron Jones over 68.5 rush yards at minus 110. And we can talk about that one on Monday's show, because that one obviously is a Monday Night Football game right there. Obviously, guys, look for me on the rest of the week on Twitter. It's Money Making Weekend, and I want to help you guys make money. How are we going to do it? We're going to use more of these 20% profit boosts over on DraftKings. We know PointsBet will do no juice on all the spreads, so they do those 48 hours before kickoff, so those will happen Friday afternoon. We'll start to lock in on some point spreads for this weekend, and then we also will lock in on our MLB bets. I've still got my 50% weekly profit boost to use, but then also we'll just get in on some MLB bets in general. So, guys, jump on board. It's money-making weekend, baby. I want you guys to be a part of it. We got NASCAR, soccer, and NFL all to kick ass, and let's go ahead and do it. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll count up all this profit on Monday's show. We'll kick off another one. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today. And check out my other great videos in these corners.